Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode, things are cooling down in the UK a little bit, so the old hoodies come back out. If you're interested in checking out some merch like this, then you can check out the links below. There should be a nice Teespring thing across the bottom if you want to check that out. In any case, let's get on today's review. We've got the Tullibardine 500. These guys sent me this over along with the other ones in the signature range. This is the last of that signature range. And as always, I'm going to give it my full and honest review regardless of origin. So yeah, the Tullibardine 500 sherry cask finish. They call it the 500 just the same as the other ones, the 225, the 228, because it's based on the size of the cask that it was finished in this case a 500 litre. Some of the stuff we do know, obviously this brand has been around, this kind of signature range has been around since 2013. They did have a little bit of a rebranding fairly recently, which is why we've got this box as we can see it here, and this bottle as we can see it. There you go. It looks a bit nicer, I think. I have to say, I think the original box had like a nice little open top flappy thing, which I liked, but that's kind of semantics because in this house anyway, I don't keep boxes. Once the reviews happen, the box gets taken away and put into the recycling anyway, and the bottle just sits on my shelf back there. So yeah, the box is kind of besides the point, but I do like the new design on the bottles. Just a thing that I like. So yeah, we've got a first fill ex-bourbon cask matured whiskey that's been finished in a sherry cask. I'm not sure what sherry cask it is, but I'm going to take a pretty good stab that it's Oloroso. Just my opinion based on the tasting notes that I've got. It's a 43%er, and this sells in the UK, well, it sells on their website for about 45, but if you're savvy, you can see it for less than 40 if you look around, Amazon, Master of Malt, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's around about the same price as the other ones, the 228, the 225, and of course the Sovereign is a little bit cheaper for its own reasons. Not much else to say about this. We're pretty sure that it's got added colour. It's got a nice deep colour to it, but I can't guarantee it's not, so let's not talk about it too much. Let's see what we've got in the glass and see what we've actually got, shall we? Cheers. Now on the nose, it's typical kind of sherry casky vibes. It's got dried fruits, but for me this leans more on the kind of sultanery vibes rather than on the kind of raisin side of things. And then for me it kind of thickens up a little bit. It's got some treacle and a kind of a weird kind of cola bottle vibe about it, I think. Yeah, when I say weird, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying it's just unexpected. Yeah, it's got a really nice nose actually. You guys know that I'm not typically a fan of kind of sherry cask finishes, and I always say that, but it's not really a fair assessment to say because I like the ones I like and I don't like the ones I don't like, and it's the same with all whiskies, rather than me sort of saying every sherry, I don't like every sherry, because that just isn't true. I just have to be a bit more careful with what I pick, but this isn't having any negatives on me at all so far. Let's try on the palate. Yeah, it's more of those kind of dried fruits flavours that are coming through. It's a little bit sweeter on the palate, so we're talking about some like almost like brown sugary vibes coming from it. A little bit of honey and some kind of figs on the back end. Those dried fruits from the nose sweetened out a little bit, juiced out a little bit, so they're not really kind of dried fruits anymore on the palate. It's a little bit more juicy. The finish is medium long, but the fruitiness tends to disappear a little bit, and it's replaced with like a long spiciness. So it's a fairly well-rounded whiskey. But the funny thing about this, and it's the same with the rest of the Tullibardine range, is that my enjoyment of this dram changes with my mood. Really weird thing to say. I haven't found many whiskies that do this. So a good example, obviously before I do these videos, I do some research and I write down my tasting notes. And I do that over several days, sometimes even weeks. You can see in this case I've been drinking this quite a lot. They sent me this months ago. I like to spread out my brand kind of messages though. So it's, I've had this for a while and I've been tapping into it. And some days, like even yesterday, literally, on day of recording yesterday, I poured a dram of this to do a little bit more last minute research, and it felt a bit kind of like, not necessarily flat, but it wasn't as juicy as I remember it being. And then today I've come back to it again. This is the first dram I've had tonight, and it's nice and juicy again. So it's one of those whiskies, just like the rest of the range, that ebbs and flows with my mood, or maybe what I've eaten, or a good example, yesterday I had a curry for dinner, so that might have played a part in that, and tonight I've had something a bit more neutral, let's say, and a good while ago as well. So all of those things come into effect. But the cool thing I like about this signature range and having all of them is that when my mood changes, I can pick and choose which one I like best. It would be so impossible for me to make a video called which Tullibardine is best, for instance, because every day it would be different, depending on how I fancied things. Like the Sauternes cask would be good one day, the Burgundy cask would be good another day, this one would be the best the other day, and I've done a couple of tastings with these guys, little miniatures and whatnot. One time this was my favourite, the other time the Sovereign was my favourite. It's just really hard to pick. But yeah, I think, as I said on the other videos as well, if you are into any of these finishes, so if you know you like Sauternes finish, if you know you like red wine finish, if you know you like sherry cask finish, that's your starting point with this range, because you're not going to be disappointed. That's a fair assessment, especially when you can get it for like 35 quid. You're looking at a good amount of money for this, and they're staying their prices as well, which is good. We like that. So yeah, that's the end of my Tullibardine kind of overview of signature range. If you missed some of the others, you can go back and check it out. Some of my previous videos, I've been covering them over a good, over this year. But yeah, if you fancy me checking out some more Tullibardine, let me know, because I know they do some age statements, they do some, like the Murray, I think is something that I should be checking out. But yeah, if you want to see more Tullibardine, and you're not really sure if it's, something for you, and you want to see it from me first, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see about getting hold of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on more No Nonsense Whiskey videos.